Well, hey there, this is Jerry, and I'm getting started on another episode of What's Broke Today. And today I've got a Wright standard. It's a ZK61 that doesn't start. And when you turn the key, if you listen, you can hear the solenoid hits good and hard, but it doesn't crank. When he first dropped it off, it didn't even make any noises, and that's because the fuse here with the purple wires is the main fuse. Apparently they thought jump starting it might help, and they blew the fuse trying to jump start it. So I'm going to take the starter off, and to begin with, I was going to undo the battery. Pull the battery cover off and then unhook the negative cable. And get it out of the way. And then I gotta get down the bottom of the starter, and I was gonna drop the deck down a little bit so I can reach up underneath and I figure out what size the nut is on the bottom, because it can, sometimes they're 12s, sometimes they're 13 millimeter, and this one's a 12. So I'll come down here and just loosen that up. Now I can take the nut and the washer off. Then we've of course got the battery cable, the purple power wire, and then the yellow charge wire. And then I'm going to unplug the green wire, which is the one that activates the solenoid. Now I'm going to raise the mower deck back up. That noise you just heard was one of those, was not as loud as usual, one of those big double propped military helicopters that looked like it had the big boom on the front of it for refueling something. So okay, I get those loose, and then this mower's not that old, and these bolts on top are, on this one, are 10 millimeter. Most of them are 13 on the older stuff. Okay, once I get that loose, I think it's stuck. There we go. Probably just dust and dirt that's holding that in there tight. And then this is the tricky part, is once you get it loose and drop down, and this one, they actually zip tied the wires to the starter. So we can cut the zip tie and get the wires loose. And of course, when it drops down, it catches the wires I had previously unhooked from there. Okay. Now I'm going to come back here, and we're on the fourth hole up on the inside. Drop that all the way down and reach under here and actually fish the starter out through the bottom. And man, this looks like the original starter. Oh. Alright, now going back in with a new starter. Now, unfortunately, this is not an OEM Kawasaki. This was on Amazon, and I think it was around 50 bucks. So, not my optimal choice, but I don't know, it is made by Johnson Electric, so I don't know. So we'll take this and start out with and shove it up through the hole like I pulled the old one out, and then just, you know, the wires that are hanging down there, just push them out of the way. And then I'm gonna see if I can get that turned and pointed in the right direction. And then just push it up in the hole. And there's bolt 1 started. Really hard without having a tool on the extension. This 3/8 ratchet I got. Not getting many awards with me on being a good ratchet. And get that good and tight. And underneath the 1 starter bolt is a harness ground wire. And then we'll reach underneath, and the first thing I actually want to do is plug in the green wire. And then I can take and put the yellow wire, the purple wire, and then the battery cable wire. Slide those all up. Get my nut and my washer ready. Let's put those up there as far as I can with my fingers. I finish tightening them down with the ratchet, and then Get the boot back over there as close as I can. And come back here and hook up our negative cable. Now if I put everything else back together, that's okay. I can pull this back over the top of that. Okay. And the only other thing I got to do is, he got a new belt for here, so we can just roll this one off, and you'll see it's got all those cracks in it, but it wasn't far from failing. Alright, simple enough. I went in and took the Wright stander out for a little test run, cut a little bit of grass, got her good and hot, and then of course come back and cranks and fires up real good. Well, hey, I appreciate you watching the video on me putting the starter on the Wright stander. That you always like those thumbs up for the likes. Appreciate all those comments, and a big shout out to all my subscribers that I appreciate y'all watching. And hey, if you're not a subscriber, better join on in, because I'll tell them what else you're going to see on What's Broke Today. Thank you.